Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Masamune's Ambition, Sphere of Influence. That's my hilarious new name for this game. It's not actually called that, really. I'm the Mysterious JG. Last time we led a, well, the last two videos, really. 'Cause 3 videos back, our big cliffhanger ending was deploying everything in an all-out blitz to finish off the Ashina once and for all. The Satake have not come to their aid. The Uesugi, we didn't really expect to come to their aid. If they did, it would be solely to contain us. We have an alliance with the Megami, and the Soma here are kind of worried about, I would think, the Satake. And we have an alliance going with the Kasai. So basically, the Ashina have been isolated, and in the last 2 videos or so, pretty much completely destroyed. Masamune finally withdrawing. Vulture Bobo was an insurance policy. He brought up an army that would have been well-nigh unstoppable against anything they could have produced after the initial wave. But they didn't actually survive the initial wave for Vulture Bobo's army to be necessary. Meanwhile, Masamune is also leaving because, quite frankly, he took in a huge army. He suffered major losses, but he won, like, he had a battle here, a second battle here, then a battle here, then a battle here. Masamune took a city and won like 4 engagements, although really Akariando won the battle at Aizushingu Castle. But yeah, Masamune basically covered himself in glory there. I'm not trying to like smack talking to the created officers, but in all fairness, like your daimyo went in there and showed you guys how it's done. But by the end, probably overextended to the point where there was a danger of your daimyo's unit being defeated, but I don't think you ever really want that to happen. Not that in my last LP we didn't defeat the personal unit of Ujiyasu. I can never remember which Hojo is which, but the personal unit of the leader of the Hojo, he deployed and got defeated several times before the Oda finally took the Hojo out in my last LP. That being said, it's time to advance.
Out of our way.
And I knew it instantly. Kurokawa Castle falls. Since we have grown stronger, Shiokawa tribe has sworn allegiance
Enemy
to
officer
us.
captured.
Shiono Castle says they'll surrender. Looks like this battle is ours. And that one makes sense because the capital, like, they are the last city holding out now. I think their morale took a massive hit when that other city fell. So, like, the instant the month is over, I was worried we might not finish this in the next video if I take too long. No. Everyone instantly surrendered. Ashina Clan was eliminated by Date Clan on January 1586.
Enemy officer apprehended.
So we completed the quest, captured Kurokawa Castle, and we completed the quest, eliminate the Ashina Clan. Lord Masamune, congratulations. Kujuro, you can't tell me you're saying that crap too, can you? Whatever do you mean, my lord? I'm asking you if you've come to congratulate me on beating down the Ashina and becoming the leader of Oshu or some rubbish like that. What I want is unification, and I've taken way too long to get this far. I would argue we haven't. I think we did that about as quickly as you could. Lord Masamune, you appear to be mistaken. About what? My congratulations was of nothing so low. I congratulated you because you managed, just barely, to preserve your chance at conquering the nation we know. However, not a second can be wasted. We must keep our celebrations. We must keep our celebrations and hurry to the labor of conquest. That much I know. 7 herbs wrapped in 1 leaf, plucked. Shigazane! Good of you to join us, Sir Shigazane. Not a bad verse, might I add. Perhaps symbolizing how Lord Masamune brought the 7 counties of Sendo together and plucked them as one? That's exactly it. Though it's not my poem you're praising. It isn't? Then just whose is it? So there are things even Sir Katakura doesn't know. It could not be. Figured it out? Yeah, this haiku came from our Lord's joy when he obtained the 7 counties of Sendo. I got caught writing poetry. He's been reading my journal. Writing poetry was not considered in any way unmanly in feudal Japan. It was part of what was expected of a nobleman. I'm not saying that that's more enlightened than we are now, more femi. It is a statement of fact. They had a different value placed on men writing poetry. No need to get all stiff. Wait till Yoshi comes around for that. Oh, sorry. And I read between videos in the loading screen. Yeah, Yoshi apparently, that's not her name, but I forget her full name. Masamune's mother apparently tried to poison him at one point, so nice. No need to get all stiff. Before talking about this grand ambition stuff, well, if you're happy, let yourself be happy. We've still got time, far too much time, and with the three of us together, we'll most definitely unify this land. Excuse me. Well, somebody's laid back. But you've got a point. I suppose a great ruler needs to be that composed. Very well, for now let us celebrate and make merry. And that's what I'm talking about. How about it, Sir Katakura? And let's get some of them created officers in here. Woo! I will do as Lord Masamune wishes. But listen, you two, don't forget. I'm going to make this land of the rising sun mine, and I'm never giving up on that dream. I don't think so. Without fail. Don't think so. Though thrown about by the dramatic whims of fate, Masamune Date managed to conquer all of Oshu. Hating the old conflicts that plagued Uru and gazing at a different future, the young man alone set his sights on unification and began to spread his wings. You see him there. I don't believe it's taken me this long to notice that he's doing like the Sao P, Booker T, Spinneroonie pose here. Quests. The Battle of Shuriagahare accomplished. I've gained the one-eyed dragon trait. With this new power, this land is mine. I've obtained the ferocity trait. The heavens will hear of my might. So I've picked up the adjutant trait. Huh. If I've got this. Kurokawa Castle, Iwashiro. As his clan celebrated the victory at Shuriagahara, Masamune's mother, Yoshi, requested knowledge of them. So even the game is calling her Yoshi. Now this comes as a surprise, Mother. What do you need from me?
Can't I just visit my beloved son? Masamune, could you die for your mother? Well?
I could not. I am the head of the Date. My death means the death of the clan.
Masamune, for the sake of the Date or the Megami, I fear not death. I fear not death, yet I cannot bear to lose you and Kojiro.
Mother, what is the matter? Has something happened? Yoshi revealed to Date that Try this again. Yoshi revealed to Date that a movement to propel his younger brother Kojiro into leadership had started up in the clan once again. Behind the scenes of the movement, Yoshi's brother and the greatest plotter in all of Uu, Yoshimitsu Mogami, had cast his shadow. Oh, so our uncle's trying to mess with us from behind the scenes here.
I must bring either you or Kojiro to your death. To protect our clan.
Mother, understood. Please return to the Megami.
Masamune, are you going to abandon your mother?
I have a feeling we won't get to do a lot of Yoshihime RPing from here on out. I am not. I simply cannot allow you to see Kojiro die. Mother, you need not dirty your hands nor tear at your heart over a matter such as this. As the head of the Date, I will bring this to an end myself. The next day, Yoshi left the Date clan to return to her old home with the Megami. Though many rumors spread, this did not spell the end of contact between Masamune and Yoshi. Their continued communication shows that their parting was not one born of hatred and argument. Quests, Masamune and Kojiro. So this is the last quest of the Date. It's the second to last quest. This is the last quest of the Date that you can realistically get by playing this scenario. The events that set up the Sekigahara battle, and basically the Date's historical role in the Sekigahara battle. If you know your history of this, and I know my history of this from Samurai Warriors and getting curious and doing a little bit of reading, but not in depth. At Sekigahara, it was a huge showdown, basically between forces loyal to Mitsunari Ishida and forces loyal to Ieyasu Tokugawa. They were known as the Eastern Army and the Western Army because of where most of the lords were, but it wasn't a clean break. There were clans in the West who were loyal to Ieyasu, and there were clans in the East who were loyal to Mitsunari. And the big Eastern clan that was on Mitsunari's side and hostile to Ieyasu are the Uesugi. So Masamune and his forces were not present at the final battle at Sekigahara that whole scenario is known for, but they played a major role because they contained the Uesugi and prevented the Uesugi from marching in and assisting Mitsunari. So the Date played a role in that conflict, but not in the specific battle at Sekigahara. So the actual circumstances of the showdown between Ieyasu and Mitsunari are necessary to see the last historical quest, because the last historical quest Masamune has centers around his role in Sekigahara. So what I'm trying to get at is, this is the last quest we can do without starting a new scenario. Because once this is done, the AIs are just going to go out and do their own thing. The Hojo are not going to fall on their own. If they do, they're not going to fall the right way. The Tokugawa are not going to... I mean, the big thing is that you're never going to get to Mitsunari versus Ieyasu. The RNG and the AIs each trying to take over are not going to lead to the right set of circumstances. So this quest is going to end the quest line until we start a new scenario. And that's why I wanted to play this scenario rather than just jumping straight into Sekigahara, so we could see all these quests. I think people are having fun watching this. I hope it stays the same. But I mean, I just want to warn everybody, if what you're enjoying is all the quest stuff and seeing, like, every couple of battles we see dialogue explaining what's going on in the story, that's going to be ending pretty soon. Eventually, it's just going to be me playing against a bunch of AI forces, and we're not going to be seeing like narrated story element. That's probably the most fun part. It doesn't last forever. We're kind of almost done. Anyway, this is the last quest we'll be doing in this scenario. Masamune and Kojiro. Masamune Date's younger brother, Kojiro, the man Masamune's mother, Yoshime, desired to be the clan's heir, even now that unrest still lurks within the family. Proceed with historical quest? Yes. Expel Kojiro Date.
Back to base.
So everybody's going
Back
home.
to base.
Back to base.
If you're not already going home, you need to start going home.
We're going back. We're going home.
We're going back. We're going home. We're going back home. We don't actually need to wait for these guys to get back to base. But I think I will spend a turn doing some organization before we actually wrap this whole thing up. None of you guys, this battle is ours, beat them up. None of these guys should run out of food because they all restock when they pass by. Food teleports back and forth instantaneously between our bases. This game does not work the same as... This game doesn't work like RTK as far as like having to have food at specific places. Individual bases contribute to how much food we get every harvest season, how much gold we get every month. But gold and food are shared throughout the force. It's not particularly realistic, but whatever. It's a gameplay mechanic. It's the same for us as it is for everyone else. I do not know why... and why call on Owari-san and I keep saying, beat them up. Like, I guess he's beating up prisoners he's captured. That's pretty harsh, man. You shouldn't be doing that.
We march.
Now these guys are all excited. We're just returning from a previous conquest, buddy. I should check and see. We can win. Actually, this quest, all we have to do is expel Kojiro. spoilers, upon completion, Kojiro will die, and Masamune will gain the Ogre trait. I don't know if he starts the next scenario with all these traits. Like, we won the One-Eyed Dragon trait through plot. We might lose it and have to regain it some way once we start a new scenario. So my ambition meets its end. Korotane Aso. But now Koremitsu Aso has taken over. And Akamune Rusu, who's one of ours, is feeling a little ill.
Meeting. Here's last month's balance.
We're making more than we're spending.
Reporting in.
I discovered horses. Rumor has it somebody has been meeting with another clan. Whatever. Short of like outright hiring officers away from us, we're not marching against anybody, so they can't turn them against us in mid-battle. But now that we're at this point, we've got we got 2 more castle lords to assign. I just feel bad for you, man. I hope you recover. He's actually one of our... No, it's not organized the same way. He's not a bad officer at all. He's in Mio, so I'll need to give somebody else to Mio. You're already a castle lord, and you're still pissed off. So Mio Castle will need a replacement for this guy. And we'll need to find a lord for this castle. Yeah, his stats are pretty good when he's not, like, dying of illness, so... You're already a lord, aren't you? Yeah. Yeah, I'll put a lady in charge of the castle, why not? So Mio Castle may be short of folks now. Yeah, it actually is. And we will take some officers out of... So... Yeah, we don't really have, like, tons of extra officers here. Once we've hired all of the Ashina Clan folks away... But, I mean, there's going to come a point where I can't have, like, 5 officers and 4 officers in these cities. Because, there's just not enough officers. So we just took some people from Rifu. Don't want to take Kojiro because we're about to lose him. Can use labor to restore base's HP. Basically, it's just me rebuilding castles that I tore up.
What would you like? What would you like? Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, you are so stupid. So, this is an expensive proposition. I could start repairing the roads here. Yeah, screw it. I know for a fact I'm not gonna... None of this is gonna stick with us, so...
What would you like?
Goodbye, T-set.
Thank you very much.
And then we could find who is really unhappy that I actually care about. He's the former ruler of a clan. It might be a good idea to give it to him. Or I could hold it off and give it to the leader of the Ashina. It's often a good idea to make the former rulers of a clan, because they usually have better stats than their officers do. It's usually a good idea to give them treasures and stuff, make them happy. If I was pouring money to the Imperial Court, which will be a part of my strategy in the Sekigahara scenario, you can occasionally give them titles. Apparently there's nobody unhappy in any of these places. Oh, there's somebody unhappy here, but I wouldn't think that the Satake clan would let somebody's loyalty slip unless there was somebody they didn't care about. Don't care about these places. Any combat that we do for the remainder of this is going to be up here. I think I got the message that says if another clan interferes, this will fail. And I went ahead with it anyway. So again, I'm giving everybody time to get back to their cities before I make major political upheavals. But because eventually we'll get more officers to put someplace. Because I think we must have captured officers in some of these forces, right? Let's decide what to do with the captives. Just the one. He's got an awesome helmet. And these guys should pretty much join us because they no longer have a clan to be loyal to. They might not be happy, but they'll join. One of the differences, too, between this game and Romance of the Three Kingdoms is we won't have officers just leave us to become, quote, Ronin. They wouldn't be considered Ronin, of course. Something strange is going on around Katsumasa Tozenji. Do be wary of betrayal and defection. Okay. Hopefully I won't be marching whoever that is. Now I'm curious enough to look them up. Nobody is all the way in red anymore. Often objective orders appears discontinued. Yeah, his required loyalty is only 1. Huh. But as you can see, his stats are pretty... Who cares? That's... So somebody's trying to hire him away. He's got really mediocre stats. Like his overall average is... let's see, it's 4 above, 6 below, 5 below. I think his overall average is just over 50, so he's not terrible, but it's kind of funny. His required loyalty is only 1, and I still can't maintain it. He hates us that much. He doesn't like Masamune. Doesn't like Masamune's personality type or his tenant, and he's got the unskilled negative modifier. So here's a guy we probably can't keep. Here we go. I knew somewhere we were getting a bunch of officers. I need a little time to sort matters out. I'll go and cool my head off for a time. When I return, I'll swear loyalty to you. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. So I kind of figured I must have been missing a bunch of their officers.
Your orders?
Done
Here's
below.
last month's balance.
So we spent a lot because we bought some treasures and stuff.
Reporting in.
Found mine, vein, and other resources. I looked around Shiono Castle, but couldn't find anything. Didn't seem to be anything of interest in the area. Got some tribes supporting us. And a Ronin or two are in our lands. So we'll hire this guy. We've got a base that can actually expand. Vein. Oh, yeah, we want that. And we definitely want crafts because that will allow us to build a gold mine. See, we've got the pulled out map, which is actually handy. It makes it easier to spot these things. You can actually develop. Sure, I like Kabuki theater, but I prefer no theater. I don't know what Statesman does. Yeah, you do it with less people, so it saves you labor, I guess. But we're out of money, like completely out of money.
Ask for anything you want.
At Alice's restaurant.
Thank you for your patronage.
Mm-hmm. Sure, I prefer stables, but I prefer... Yeah, I like Kabuki stables, but I prefer no stables. So that's me being silly with the Mystery Science Theater references. Oh, by the way, forts? Fortify posts? Not quite the same as a fortress. A fortress basically allows you to build a little city. Oftentimes, I don't use it very often because there's enough cities, but you put a lot of labor into building someplace that you can develop like a base. So, like, if you're so you might come across a specific point where it's a good idea, but they tend to be, they're not really self-sufficient unless you find, like, the exact right place to do it. And I'm not real clear on when you get to do it, because it seems like even if you got tons of gold and labor, and there's a place you could build one, it still won't let you do it. Fortifying a post, on the other hand, just, I think, gives you bonuses if you fight a battle there. I'm going to upgrade Rifu at this place. Sure, I like Kabuki theater, but I prefer no theater. I'm gonna make that joke every time. I doubt that
Ask for anything you want.
There's nothing cheap enough here for us to afford, so some of this stuff looks pretty
Ask
awesome.
for
I mean,
anything you want.
wouldn't you want the big buffalo helmet? Buffalo soldier, fight across Japan. Okay. I think it's time to call it a video. It's probably time to call it a video. Yeah, it's pretty much time to call it a video. But I'll tell you what I'll do, because I still haven't 100% decided if I want to, and I might off-screen try to figure this out, whether or not there's a way to cancel our alliance with the Kasai, or whatever they're called, so that we can attack them and call it a scenario. And at this point, if you haven't already wrote in the comments about what you want, 16 months, yeah, we can wait out 16 months. It doesn't take that long if you just, like, auto-develop according to what the overseers want and spend all your labor that way. It's not too bad. We could probably wait them out. But I'll check and see if there's a way to cancel it. But what I want to do is just wrap this video up by actually concluding this quest. So this video will go very slightly long. But here's what we're going to do. We are going to... Well, we could marry somebody off. We've got a bunch of men. Can't I do the bride first? I'd be curious about doing the bride first. I guess what I'm wondering is, can I, yeah, it's not letting me... I was like, can I find somebody who is... Can I marry one of my female officers into the clan by marrying them to, Shigazane or something like that? But I guess I can't. I would be allowed to marry Earl King, is for some reason after Kajuro, the one most likely to marry one of the ladies. So one thing we could do just for funsies before we call it a scenario is marry people into the clan, but it'll all be undone when I finish the scenario, so that would feel silly. But what I can do is expel an officer from the clan, and it starts with the low loyalty people, which kind of makes sense. Let's read up on him before... because Bobo noted this guy's biography before when he first joined us. Amidst strong loyalty, will likely perform above abilities. Son of Teramune Date, nicknamed Jikumaru, Yoshiteru Ashina stole succession away from him, and he was killed by his true brother, Masamune Date, following a family quarrel. So yeah, Bobo already made the joke. He might not be that excited about joining us if he could read that. But he is, in fact, the guy that we need to kick out of the clan to finish the storyline. I have no idea, other than alphabetizing it, I have no idea why it's being so hard to find him. It is Kojiro, right? Yeah. Was I of no use to you, my liege? Expel Kojiro Date accomplished. Kojiro Date, younger brother to Masamune Date. Yeah, younger brothers are a pain in the butt. You should probably just expel them from your clan whenever you have an opportunity. When Masamune lost an eye to sickness, a tide of voices pushed for Kojiro to inherit the clan over his one-eyed brother. Old One-Eyed Jack was sent to the optometrist. Even when Masamune began to prove himself as a daimyo, those that bore no love for him attempted to push Kojiro into leadership. Essentially, Kojiro's very existence was a seed of discord within the House of Date. And so, Masamune finally made his decision. Kojiro, you're ready for this, right?
Yes, brother. I've been prepared since the day Mother returned to the Megami.
I'd expect nothing less, brother. But tell me this. You didn't intend to go against me, did you?
And why would you want to hear that? Such knowledge will only breed regret within you, brother.
A good point.
Worry not. This is how our world works. That which I, which father, which mother, which all around us cannot see, you can, brother. Things that can only be seen without depth perception getting in the way. And should my presence begin to hold you back, I would gladly give up my life.
Well, it has.
Now, on with it. You are the only one who can take this head of mine.
Forgive me, oh innocent ones.
Brother, unite the nation. Unite all peoples within our nation. Denounce the evils of truth and love. Etc. Extend our reach to the stars above.
Masamune, Kojiro, blast off at the speed of light. Kojiro's execution at Masamune's hands had two important effects. First, a war of inheritance caused by those who supported Kojiro was no longer possible. Second, Masamune performing the execution himself secured his position as the absolute ruler within the Date clan. Oh, happy music! Quest, Masamune, and Kojiro accomplished. I've gained the ogre trait. With this new power, this land is mine. It was awesome murdering my little brother. So, one side effect of this? Although I think time has to pass before it will be visible. Cautious of our strong influence, cautious of our strong influence. There is no room for negotiation. These guys are normal. No room for negotiation. Cautious, cautious, refused. These guys are in awe of us. And the Hojo don't give a crap about us. They're just not... We're too far away from them to even register. They'd have to... Now, the Hojo, once they take out the... Because all these little clans here, you've got all these little things indicating how clans feel. But you gotta understand, some of these guys have like one city, one or two cities. Hojo have like dozens of cities, so this map is very misleading, because it seems like each of these have equal importance. But in fact, other than the Uesugi, these clans that are hostile towards us are kind of jobbers. But I believe once we allow time to pass, we should see a shift here. Well, maybe not. I thought there would actually be an in-game diplomacy effect of killing our brother. But I guess not. No theater has been constructed. Oh, that's too bad. I was hoping a theater might get constructed. Oda Castle, Yoda Satake clan. Ujimasa, he's kind of the main dude. If we were to try, instead of playing the Sekigahara scenario, we try to play this one through, Ujiyasu would be like our main foe.
Your orders?
And he's allied with the with Ieyasu in this one. He's
Here's
pretty
last
much
month's
unbeatable.
balance. Reporting in.
So never mind, I was wrong. I thought we would actually see something come of killing Kajiro, and it would affect how other clans look at us. But they're hostile because of our strong influence. I thought they were going to be hostile, because this is a thing. If you break an alliance with a vassal, everybody, if they don't become hostile, their trust for you, their attitude towards you becomes distrustful. And the message why isn't conscious of our strong influence. It's they're basically like, I forget exactly what it says, but it's something along the lines of distrustful of our duplicity or something along those lines. So breaking alliances can be possible in certain circumstances, but the other AI groups are going to become harder to work with. So I'm going to save off screen. I think I will check and see whether or not we can break our alliance with the Kasai. Because taking a diplomatic hit, it's not going to bother me because we'll get it back in the next one anyway. But it would mean that we'd at least be able to get the lands we should have before we jump ahead to another scenario. So one of two things is going to happen, folks, depending on what happens when I do just a minute or two of off-screen to check this out. Either we come back next time and we just develop our new lands and build things up, and one of three things is going to happen. We're going to break our alliance with the Kasai clan and attack them immediately, and we'll have one video of wiping them out, and then we'll call it a scenario and move on to Sekigahara after that. Or we'll go through a few domestic turns and let the alliance expire on its own, or I'll just decide, screw it, I don't care. Let me know what you think in the comments, bearing in mind that it's likely I'll record the next video before this one becomes public, so don't take it personal if you're, I don't seem to be doing what you suggest. But yeah, throw your comments in there, because maybe it won't work out that way. I don't know exactly the timing. But our main story stuff is pretty much done. We got one more big story thing to go, and that's part of Sekigahara. So stay tuned for that in future videos. I'll catch you guys next time. And thanks to one and all the created officers for helping us crush the Ashina. That actually, it would have been a lot more difficult without the created officers. It would have been entirely doable. That is not one of the toughest quests ever. I would have had to take my time about some of the quests that involved holding off Yoshiaki Sataki. If I didn't have all these created officers who could go toe-to-toe with him even with slightly smaller troop counts. I would have had to be more conservative. It would have taken longer to get here. But the Ashina, certainly after you've gained the cities you gained through following the story, the Ashina cannot stand up to the Date. Created officers are no. That being said, with those created officers, it turned into a freaking, rout. They got crushed. And everybody, as young Mr. Grace might say, you all did very well. Even Bobo, who just didn't get to arrive in time for the battle. Come along, Bobo. See you guys next time.